It's really hard to navigate your way through permanent makeup equipment. There are so many things that you really do need, and there's even more out there that people say you need. So I'm going to tell you my biggest waste of time and money that I found over my career. Hi, I'm Katie Schofield. I'm a permanent makeup trainer in the UK and North America, and also online. You can train with me by hitting the Train in Person link below, and also get free advice in my Facebook group, Permanent Excellence. Please be aware that I've listed these items because it's my opinion, nothing more. I'm not saying that these things are intrinsically bad, just that they don't suit me. I'd love to hear your cannot live withouts, as well as your I wish I'd never bothered. So please let me know what yours are in the comments below. So number one, Preink String. Now, actually I've given this to my students in some of their kits, but after trying loads of different types of Preink String, I just can't get on with it. To make sure the string doesn't dry out, manufacturers tend to put lots of pigment on it, and it makes mapping really unclean. It's really hard to get precise lines when there's so much pigment on it. Some of the better ones I've had work well for a while, but because they've got less pigment on, they dry out really quickly. So to get clean, crisp lines in your mapping, I've stuck with what's always served me best, which is nylon string and a Sharpie pencil. Also, you can keep the ends of your string clean if you don't put pigment in that section, and having clean hands means you're going to get better mapping results. I've just launched a brand new mapping course to help you map clean, precise, symmetrical brow shapes in under 5 minutes. If you register now, you'll have the option of having a free coaching session with me to help you with your mapping. Click the link below for the 5-minute mapping course. Secondly, surgical markers. I'm going to talk you now through one of the worst permanent makeup experiences I had. It was my second model. I was on my own. I was frightened of losing my shape, so I put blue dots all around the eyebrow shape. And whatever products my client had on her skin, and whilst I was working, that mixed with those blue dots and it ran into all the hair strokes. It turned the hair strokes dark blue. I struggle to even think about it. So I had to clean up, try and get all the blue out. It was really, really stressful. If you are having to mark blue dots on your brows, then you need more training. Every student should be able to keep their shape, either microblading or doing an ombre brow. There are none of my students that leave my courses not able to keep their shape. I see it as well, forums absolutely full of new artists and students struggling to get those blue dots off their client's face. Green soap, scrubbing at them, nothing seems to work. Now, a big part of our job is handing the client the mirror, seeing their face light up when they see their beautiful new brows. If they've got a load of blue dots all around them, that's really going to diminish that. It's not going to look good. So just learn to keep your shape and bin that surgical marker. Thirdly, non-universal machines. So what do I mean by a universal machine? So I'm going to start with this machine. It's just a little practice pen that I have. I'll show you the inside of it. Can you see that's a screw fitting? So this machine will only take needles of its own make. Whereas if we look at these other machines, all these 3 other machines, the Zion, the Allure, the Bishop, they're all what we call universal fittings. So the inside of those will fit any needle that is a universal needle. So this is a Vertex, these are Quadron, so that will fit in as well. So with this you get the choice, you can buy your needles from anywhere. So you can buy Quadron needles, Vertex needles, Allure needles, anything with a universal fitting. Now, I actually really like both these types of needles. I prefer the Quadron ones for shading, and I really love Vertex for hair strokes, but I don't actually have to choose because both of those will fit any of my machines. So tying yourself into one brand, and many of the machines I bought were great at the start, and then suddenly the manufacturer stopped selling the needles, and that machine then sits there, you can't use it, it's just a complete waste of money, so I wouldn't bother with anything that isn't universal. Fourthly, hard pigment cups. So when I say hard pigment rings, I mean like this, plastic. So these are great for mixing your colours in, but if your needle strikes the bottom of it, it blunts your needle. It makes an awful noise as well. I actually can't stand it, but you will be blunting your needle, and then once you've got a blunt needle, you keep going back and forth to a client, you're not going to be implanting your colour properly. These ones squidgy, soft silicone. Now, I'm still not advising that you do strike your needle cut, but if you do, you've got much less chance of blunting your needle on something soft like that. I hate seeing people use microblading pigment rings for needlework for machine needlework. My particular bugbear. But these are great for microblading because you're not going to strike the bottom of it. You can carefully control that and just scoop up some pigment. So these are great for microblading, but if you do machine work, stick to these silicone ones. Lastly, huge ranges of pigment colours. These are just not necessary. I've bought so many pigments that I don't use and I just find myself going back to the same 5 colours while the others expire and get demoted to latex pigments. Remember, you can mix and modify within your range, so having every single colour is just a waste of money. You could be spending it elsewhere, and I actually prefer to have different types of pigment to suit different clients and different treatments than every single colour in a range. I mean, I do have a lot of lip pigments though. I've got a bit of a problem there, but I do still use the same ones. I hope that helped you make easier decisions. If you're struggling to know which ranges of pigments to buy, then I've made this video here to guide you through the choices. It really will help. Let me know any questions that you have, and I'll see you next time.